Hi everyone, my name is Henry Chen. I'm a Uber driver in New York City. I'm also part of a driver's benefit group that provides the portable benefit to all drivers, all black car drivers in New York State. And we are fortunate to have a Rob from the SBA online with us to talk about the PPP program that is provided by the government. And I'm gonna ask him a few questions. And thank you guys for joining me online and seeing this video. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, Henry. My name is Rob Piechota, and I'm the branch office manager for Small Business Administration, the SBA, here on Long Island in lovely New York. It's a pleasure to be with you here today.
Yeah, thank you. We just have a few questions regarding on the PPP. The first question, can you describe what a PPP program is?
Sure. The PPP stands for the Paycheck Protection Program, and it was part of the COVID-19 coronavirus stimulus package passed by Congress. There's been two phases of the funding for the particular PPP, and what it's designed to do is to get money or a loan into the pockets of employees. Now, because we're dealing largely with self-employed people here, it's a way for a business owner, self-employed business owner, in this case today, how you can tap in and borrow money from the federal government. And if used correctly for the purposes for which it was intended, in other words, getting payroll reestablished, then the provisions of this program are forgivable, meaning you don't pay it back. There are some criteria, and it's pretty specific ways in which you can qualify.
Yeah, so second question for you is, some of the drivers are confused about the program. Are drivers who on the ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft, are they eligible for this program?
Okay, so there's a number of sources, and I recommend anyone that wants to really get into the weeds to figure out if you're eligible, you can merely go to sba.gov or Department of Treasury website, and you can find in the main banner, you will click on it, and it will have questions by lenders, questions from borrowers. You can drill down to that and find eligibility. In essence, if you are a business owner and you may have fewer than 500 employees for the most part, then you are a small business owner. If you're self-employed, you are also eligible. And again, this is designed to, the way the PPP works, different from other programs you may have heard about. I won't go into great detail right now about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, EIDL, but the PPP, the way what it's designed for is you go to a lender, and a lender that is approved by the SBA, and they will identify and help you figure out exactly your eligibility requirements and what you need to do to apply.
Thank you. So another question, what expenses can driver use PPP for? A, lease on the vehicle. B, car payment for the vehicle. C, car insurance. D, salary. Is this a payroll? E, gas.
Thank you for asking that question. So the PPP, as the name indicates, Paycheck Protection Program, the core reason of its existence is to reestablish payroll, salary. This is not designed for other kinds of expenses. Now, there are some eligible expenses you can utilize it for, but you must use the proceeds at least to cover up to 75% of the proceeds must go to payroll. In the case of our viewers, probably the individual owner, if you're paying yourself. Lease for the car, gas, none of that really fits the criteria for the program. Other eligible expenses, though, for the larger self-employed business owner would be mortgage interest, utilities, and rent. Those are eligible expenses. But again, only part of the proceeds can be used for that, for total forgiveness.
So next question would be, can you receive a PPP and the unemployment benefit at the same time?
That's a very popular question. Thank you, Henry. And I am not an expert from the Department of Labor or unemployment insurance. So that is a very slippery slope for many of you. I would highly encourage you to get clarity from the Department of Labor or some kind of accountant that you may be employing to give you guidance on that, because you cannot double dip. If you're receiving PPP for payroll restoration, in other words, your salary, then if you're certifying to Department of Labor that you haven't received money, then that would be a challenge for you. I don't want to see anybody here get into a situation where you're taking, in essence, payroll from two sources and then have to reconcile down the road with one of the agencies.
Thank you. So we are talking on the May 20th. Are funds still available?
Thank you. And it is May 20th, and it's a beautiful day outside, and there are funds available. Because of the nature of how these programs were rolled out, just for context purposes, this is Paycheck Protection Program Part 2. And what happened with Phase 1, a lot of big loans went out and the money dried up very quickly. Now here we are in the second phase. And because of some of the activities by the SBA and Department of Treasury to make sure some of the smaller businesses got access to these funds, they put some measures in place to make sure that money was available for some of the smaller borrowers, people that might be watching this video. So there are funds, and I highly encourage people to explore this as a possibility if restoring your payroll is part of your intent. There's over $100 billion left in the fund. So again, it's not that difficult to figure out the details, and please at least explore this as an opportunity.
So another question, how do drivers apply?
Okay, so again, I recommend there's a website you can go to, sba.gov/paycheck protection. That's all one word. So sba.gov/paycheck protection. Or if you just go to sba.gov, a big yellow banner will direct you to details on this program. But you will be initiating your loan request through an SBA certified lender. That might be somebody down the street that you can drive to. Given the fact that many people and many locations are closed, you may want to go online to a lender's portal, and most lenders that are participating will have a banner to help you find the details on how to apply.
Anything else you would like to say to our drivers?
Well, number one, thank you for your service. I mean, we talk a lot about the frontline people out there. What you all do is vital. I mean, you are our primary mode of transportation for folks that don't have their own vehicles. And in urban environments, that's pretty much everybody. So thank you. That's number one. Number two, also pretty much high importance, and that is, if you're not sure, if you think it's not right for you, or you have some trepidation about trying to apply, I highly recommend that you go to this website. I'll spell it out for you, but it's N like November, YS, B like boy, DC.org. I'll say it again, NYSBDC.org. That is the New York State Small Business Development Center website. And I mention them for the primary reason, you go to that website and you can click on wherever you are in the state of New York. And this, if you're across the country, you can go to your own state SBDC website and find a center that you can click on and get free advice from an advisor. These are state and federally funded locations that can help you compile your documents effectively. And if there are other sources of income or sources of funding, maybe through the state or the county, They can help you figure out if that's a possibility for you. It's free. It's going to cost you maybe about an hour of your time contacting them and talking with them. Also, SCORE. If you Google SCORE, SCORE is a phenomenal organization that has free mentorship from executives that have been in situations much like many of you. So don't be bashful. Don't think about this. At least explore the possibilities, because capital is the essence of what we all do as business owners. So that's pretty much my comments, Henry.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rob, for answering those questions. We do know that drivers are essential. They are running their business, self-employed, and they pretty much, and thank you, SBA, for partnering with us to answer the question that is very relevant to the PPP program. And thank you so much. I really appreciate for your time.
Well, thank you.